I need to tell you about these 3 new Ozark Trail folding knives, 7.5 inch. As much as I thought I would get on here and say how awesome they were and how recommendable they were, unfortunately, that's not what I'm going to be telling you today. With the exception of the Sonder up here, which is a $9.97 knife, which I absolutely think is a great knife. It's awesome. The Valor here at $19.97, I thought on paper was going to be amazing with the aluminum handles and 14C28 end blade, but it's not amazing even for $20. And then the Elevation, which is their swing at a button lock, $24.97, and I think that one's going back, honestly. And I did get a bad one, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But we really was hoping that these were just going to be amazing and I could recommend them, but that does not seem to be the case today. But before we get into the problems, I want to talk about a little bit about Ozark Trail in general. So many folks don't know, but it's the Walmart version of their outdoor equipment where they typically rebrand very similar products like the Yeti tumbler when Yeti first came out with their $40 tumbler, and Ozark Trail came out with a $10 one, and it actually beat the Yeti in several categories, including how long it could hold ice. People started taking Ozark Trail seriously. Now, from a pocket knife perspective, that hasn't been the case until recently, till about a year ago, because typically what you were finding with the Ozark Trails were these just, sort of simple slide locks or frame locks. This is a really, really old one from when I was probably in college, or I don't even know. But anyway, it's got its own special pivot on there. But, typically these were like the $6 or $7 knives if you didn't want to spend 10 on a Gerber. This is actually a more recent one, but the clips were never great, and usually a slide lock or this actually has bearings, so it's one of the better ones. But typically it wasn't one you were gonna spend a lot of money on, and you didn't really care how well you took care of it. But then about a year ago, this guy came out and got dubbed the Lug Out because of its similarity to the Benchmade Bug Out. Some people called it the Ozark Grail because it's just that good of a knife. And this is the original, you can tell, because it does not have the reversible pocket clips. It does have the buttons, screws sticking out, which the Sonder also does. And that's probably my only ding against that knife, but for $9.97, what do you expect? But the reason why this is special is because it came in a D2 steel, where typically you were going to have some kind of a stainless, and if it said it, stainless steel, if you were lucky. Bad washers, bad clips, like I mentioned. And when this guy came out, it's running on bearings, it's got a nice injection molded handle, D2 steel, and a slide lock. And it's got just great action on it as well. So it's been very recommendable. It blew up the internet, and like I said, about a year ago, it sold out everywhere. Then it took almost 3 months for them to re-release it, but when they did, it came out in this very bright orange. It does have the reversible pocket clip, but otherwise not a whole lot different about it. Then in late November, they came out with a cheaper slide lock, and this does not have D2 steel. It is a $5 knife, stainless. And, this sold out everywhere. So, and through the holidays last year, if you wanted one of those, unless you were lucky enough to find the bright orange one, you were probably going to be buying them for a more expensive price on eBay or somewhere else. Then in January, they came out with the olive drab green, or the OD green version, as well as the black handled version, which you can see here. The Sonder is basically that with a stonewash blade. And so once the inventory was out on this guy, that was pretty much it. I don't think it's come back since. The orange here, as well as the OD green and the black, have been in and out of stock. And of course, you're not going to get the original now. That's been updated. So let's start talking about these knives here. So first off, the Sonder. I have nothing bad to say about this, with the exception of, it would be nice if the screws that hold the pocket clip were actually recessed. But other than that, I really can't ask for more. And for $9.97, awesome. You got jimping up top. I love the contrasted thumb studs that that's just nice. I mean, everything, all the hardware is T8 pivot, T6 otherwise in the body. They're easy to take apart, put back together. I've done it many times as I've died many of those Ozark Trails. And yeah, just a fantastic knife. This one I highly recommend. All right, next I want to talk about this Valor here. All right, so also a 3 1/4 inch blade, although again, 14C28N, you'll see it's got sort of a coating on it, which is kind of interesting. It gives it that nice color. It does have a reversible pocket clip. Actually, I'll give it credit. It's completely flush and recessed, which is very nice. It only weighs 3.3 ounces. And again, on paper, this is like a $50 or $60 knife. However, with this one, I wouldn't quite say that. And the reason is because there's a few flaws with it. Right out of the box, I've got some nicks and some scratching, and I'll try to see if I can make this come in better. But yeah, there's a nick there, some scratching on the handles, and really kind of disappointed at how it showed up. And all honesty, I think what that comes down to is the way it was shipped in this box. It wasn't shipped in one of those little injection molded plastic guys. It was shipped in a box where it rattled around. And so when this aluminum, sadly, rattles around on, I guess, paper or cardboard, it scratches the surface pretty good. Hopefully you can see that. So that was disappointing, first of all. And just to show you, I mean, it's not like I'm not familiar with aluminum handled knives. This mini iridium is something that I've worn. It got shipped to me. I've worn it a bunch of times. There's no issues with it. Even this Boker rock stud, right? I mean, it has no blemishes on it. It's been in and out of pocket. I don't remember how these shipped to me, but I think this one was actually in a similar cardboard box with some paper that Boker puts in there. But it kind of leads me to believe that if it's shipped that way and it got dinged up, then it's probably going to get dinged up in my pocket as well. So that's disparaging. But the other thing about this that's kind of odd is the ergos. And what I mean there is that back here, the way they've got these, there's really no chamfer at all on these edges. And so as you're holding it in your hand, it's really tight. Even on this lanyard loop here on the back spacer, I mean, it really digs into your hand and scrapes the back of your hand. It's not comfortable. This is probably one of the least comfortable pocket knives to fidget with because of the way this digs in back here. And I imagine it's going to scrape or scratch my skin back there. Not what I expected. I think if they just put a little bit more love into that and they could have chamfered that edge and, give you an example. Kershaw Mini Iridium, nice and smooth. Also, I'd say it's not a perfect grind at the tip as far as the uniformity. So what I'm doing with this one, and it is only $20, I'm actually I have another one coming between the blades and the handles, whichever best combination looks better. I'm gonna put those together and then I'm gonna send back the other one. Sad that this came scratched. If I get another scratched up one, I don't know, I'll keep the better of or the least scratched of the two. All right, and the last knife on here is this Elevation. This is a button lock, a 3 1/4 inch stonewash, 12C27 steel, which I'm really not that familiar with. Similar ergonomics, 4 1/4 inch handle. It's got a contrasting thumb stud. G10. I do like that the back spacer is contrasting. Here's the problem I have with it though. Did you hear that button stick? So if I use the button to actuate and open it, no button stick, right? As soon as I use either a reverse flick, listen, yeah, or thumb flick, yeah, it's stick. We got lock stick. I can't stand a sticky button lock. So I've lubed it, I've tried to mess with it, but I can tell you why I think that is the case. And that is because we have a bent liner. You can see some daylight on this bottom liner here. I tried loosening it, squeezing it together and tightening it back up, but there's still a gap there. So anyway, bent liner, sticky button lock, $24.97. I'm probably not gonna carry this. So other than having it to be part of my Ozark Trail historical collection, which I don't really need, I think I'm probably going to send that one back. And if you've carried button locks, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know, Sencuts and CJRBs, Civivis, Kaisers, Fentisos. I mean, they're just smooth in action. And once you've had one, it's really tough to kind of go back. And I mean, in all honesty, this knife is similar enough to my Fentiso Parrot here that, or no, this is the Cobra. Sorry, I also have a Parrot. This is the Cobra. That I'm probably, you know, I would never choose that knife over this. Now, I get it. This is like a $50 knife. That's a $25 knife. But honestly, I would rather have 2 of those than one of those or one of those, really. So in closing, I think I'd like to just reiterate, the Sonder's awesome. I mean, it's basically like the Ozark Trail, but black handle, stonewash blade. This one's okay. Hopefully between the 2 of the ones that I'll receive, I'll be able to put one nice one together. Although the way that the handles are already scratched kind of leads me to believe that it'll be the same situation with a little scratch in my pocket, but we'll see. This guy's going back. This button lock, bent frames. I don't know that I'm gonna mess with trying to get a new one. Same issue with the ergonomics, by the way, here. Similarly good pocket clip, recessed, but same issue here where there's really no chamfer on that lanyard loop that's part of that back spacer. So not very comfortable at all. And like I said, that's going back. So yes, keep it. Very recommendable. I'll get them. This one, I mean, we'll see. I'm probably not going to send it back, but one of them will. I just need to get one that's good and whole. This one's going back. And finally, I'll close with this. If you've never seen a blue duck, now you've seen a blue duck, and that's quacktastic. I hope you have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye.